Preparing to live stream the meeting.
One sec, I'll just verify that we're live.
Yeah, it says started streaming.
Okay, sweet.
Can you get the URL and send it to Woody?
Yep.
Yeah, there we are.
All right, I'm gonna leave, okay?
Yeah, there's a lag of like 15 seconds, so we're not gonna watch the live feed.
No, yeah.
You can leave and he can promote.
Okay, have fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye. There's 4 people watching, Gorney.
Awesome. Are we 2 of them?
Mm-hmm. I think Dave was a 3rd one.
Yeah. We don't have an order. I don't believe.
Great. Is there soccer on right now?
Right now, I'm watching the Ole Miss Indiana thriller.
No. I mean on NBC.
Oh, hold on. Corral's going deep. Corral's got a man. Auto incomplete.
Damn it.
Premier League goal zone. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm screaming it, so I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. Yeah.
5 people watching. So there's a lag on this, so I'm not going to watch the YouTube. So we're just going to talk like it's a Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm going to watch the stream. So we could talk about the playoff. What the hell, man? That was a blowout. I mean, I'm not talking Alabama, Notre Dame. We knew that would happen, but Ohio State just toyed with them.
Yeah, that was it got to the point now where we're asking if Trevor Lawrence should be the first or second or third quarterback.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I hate about the world. It's like, everything changes every second of every game.
Yeah.
Justin Fields was
instant analysis. Yeah.
He was the 5th quarterback on some people's boards. I saw some people had him, going in the teens after Northwestern. And now all of a sudden should he be number 1?
Right.
It's just like, get a life. Stop with the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Trevor's still number 1. Justin Fields should probably be number 2 to the Jets. Get rid of Darnold.
Yep.
And rebuild.
There's some crazy stats that were going on last night. They're like 9 of the last 10 times Ohio State has been an underdog in a bowl game, they've won outright. And it was setting up. I mean, the Dabo stuff is overplayed at number 11, whatever. But the loss last year, the should they even be there, all of those things were the motivation.
Oh, they were pissed.
Yeah, they were pissed. And when they're pissed, they play really well. They played great. I thought they were great.
And I didn't think piss would matter.
Yeah.
Because, I still thought Clemson was the better football team and had played more games this season and had, wouldn't be as rusty. But I learned from you, the money was all going Ohio State. So there was 7.5. So I figured it'd be a close game, but I did not see it going the other way. I should have taken the money line Ohio State. And now the outrage is that he got checked by the doctors and they didn't give him a diagnosis. It's like this snowflake world we live in. Like, it's football. First of all, targeting's stupid. That was a tackle. Like, Terry Bradshaw's been hit that way 18,000 times in his career.
Yeah.
Back Troy Aikman got hit that way a billion times. They're still alive.
Skalski's known to do that, though. That's like his move.
I don't know, but it's a tackle. I mean, head or neck area is fine if you want to call that targeting, but he bashed him in the ribs with his helmet. That's what you want to do as a defensive player, So, listen, Fields got up, wouldn't have mattered. I mean, Skalski playing or not, they got destroyed. Fields is a tough kid. He was in pain.
Thurman ran all over him.
Fought through it and then went to the tent, and now they're saying, well, they just shot him up and didn't give him a diagnosis. Why are we treating these kids like pieces of meat? Well, of course they're pieces of meat. I mean, we're playing in COVID.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be playing college football in COVID in a pandemic if they weren't money-making machines for the school. So I mean, that's just like that's something else to complain about for people. I love it, but here we go. I mean, Trevor's gone. Thank you for your service, and
Yeah.
for living up to the hype. Justin Fields, thank you for proving people wrong. I got in a wasn't really a fight, but there was disagreement with Heather Dinich last night, and she was like,
Oh.
there's question marks about this Ohio State football team from defensive backs all the way to quarterback. And I'm like, the dude's had 2 bad games in his entire career. 2.
Yeah, and he just smoked Clemson.
Last year, this was before, but last year, the loss to Clemson was not a bad game for him. He threw for over 300 yards. The second pick was a miscommunication. He was off against Indiana and he looked horrible against Northwestern. But she's like, we've got questions at quarterback. I'm like, Justin Fields is like clearly the second best quarterback in college football. You can make an argument for the first. So why are you talking about quarterback questions, Heather?
Because the same people say Trevor Lawrence is overrated and always has been overrated and he sucks. And I'll take Zach Wilson from BYU over Trevor Lawrence. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Prisoner of the moment.
Yeah.
Trevor only won 1 national title, never won a Heisman. Man, he sucks.
Right.
It's hard to live in this world, Gorney. It's hard.
Every day I learn that more and more, especially when you have Alabama yesterday, -19, and Notre Dame is going to punt the ball on 4th and 9 with 3 minutes left. The game is over. They decide to call a timeout, go for it, score because of Nick Saban getting an unsportsmanlike conduct because he yelled on the field, which was ridiculous.
Trust me, that destroyed me. Yeah. I had
worst beat of the day. I'm done for the year.
No, I'm not. I'm still going to continue, and I'll probably get into basketball and Russian ping pong and everything because I'm an addict. But that was a bad beat, as Scott Van Pelt would say. I mean, it was just like, come on. At the punt, I was like, okay, but they called timeout. You don't punt there, right? Okay, so go for it. I get that. But Saban, bitching and moaning about an incomplete pass to get a 15-yard penalty to help them get further down the field. Then you knew they were going to score a touchdown. You knew they were going to cover, and then you knew you lost your money. It's like, come on, Saban, you got to relax. You're going to have a freaking heart attack on the field if you're bitching about perfect coverage by Patrick Surtain that led to an incompletion, and you're that upset about things.
Yeah.
See how many we're up to. We got 7 now watching, bro, because we just
awesome.
Tweeted it out. 7.
Well, is it tweeted out? Yeah, we have to. You mean this wasn't promoted over the weekend? And
we didn't have the link. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. First of all, Gorney volunteers to do stuff, and he doesn't even know how to get on a computer.
I'm the ideas man, not the operations man. I can only do so much.
Well, I really need to just stop at the ideas because your last 2 have led to this, where it's 2:55 on a Saturday. There's going to be a total of 10 people watching this because anybody who's a big enough fan, and I want to say fan instead of loser, fan to watch that show is watching the show, not watching 2 idiots like us talking about watching the show.
No, they're watching us. This should be on all message boards. Who's in charge of that?
We got 8 now. Secondly, your last idea to interview the coaches on signing day, you flipped them all to me. Oh, my daughter.
Well, we only got a few, so February. I'll do it.
No, you won't. You'll flip them all to me because you don't know how to use Zoom.
I will learn.
How are you going to get Lane Kiffin to do another exciting interview if you don't know how to do Zoom? He was actually better this time, but he did admit to me.
My man, he'll do it. The new Texas coach.
Sarkis, does he follow you?
Oh, he follows me.
Can you get him to follow me, please?
We were talking at length at a Breland Brant game once, and now we're best buds.
Well, I need him to follow me for my clout.
You have plenty of clout, Mike.
I'm going to have to pee a couple times during this as well.
That'll bring in the watchers.
Well, I'm not going to pee on the podcast. I'm going to leave the room and pee.
Okay.
But then you'll see what I'm wearing below my sweatshirt. which is nothing.
As long as it's something, I won't have a problem.
No, there's nothing. It's complete nothingness. That's how I walk around all day.
Just the sweatshirt on.
Just a sweatshirt. Yep. Say hi to the wife. Hello. Hey, put some
Yoo-hoo.
pants on, please. Thank goodness there's only. I wish we could see which 8 people are watching. Oh, we got 11 now. We're up to 11.
Yeah, once our staff puts this on all the message boards, we'll be.
Well, did you retweet the Rivals feed?
Oh no, let me do that.
Oh, okay. Good job. There's 2 retweets. One of them's from me. And then there's a
Let me do
quote
that.
tweet from somebody. Bulldog fans might want to keep this open for the next 2 hours, which is true because they are going to get somebody today.
10 big names now? I thought we had 9.
Oh, is that what it says? Wait, where'd you see that?
2, 3.
I got
4,
guys.
5.
I got soccer players skipping on a field.
No, the tweet says, "Watch us as we go live for the next 2 hours."
Wow, it's raining there.
With the 10 big name players ready to announce their commitments.
Well, let's make it 20.
Yeah, that'll bring in more people.
With 13 people watching, you'd think our fellow analysts would tweet this out as well, right? But not one of them is working at this moment, right?
No.
Well, at least Sam's driving to a game.
Should I put a message on our text?
Yes. Say, could you guys please retweet the Rivals link so we can get 15 people in here?
Okay.
Let me see if I can hit up some people who will be nice enough to retweet it for me.
What was I doing? Yes.
To the group text. La 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 la. So while we're doing this, you've heard the Tristan Lee rumors.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about that at the top of the hour here.
Top of the hour. So, I've already reached out to my sources at LSU and Oklahoma
Yeah.
and Clemson, and everybody says they don't know. And I reached out to another source who said that's not exactly what was expected to happen. So this might be a head fake, last second, change my mind going to Clemson thing.
Yeah.
I didn't change my future cast. I'm sticking with Oklahoma. I'm not buying it. I mean, Clemson was out of it. What is this? What show is
Maybe
this?
after last night, as Ohio State completely dominated them on the offensive line and defensive line, Tristan Lee saw an opportunity to get on the field earlier.
Maybe. $24 people.
We should be live here. The show has started.
Now I got a commercial. I got a
Like an Army commercial, right?
Mine's a Heart commercial. Trinity
Okay.
Health of New England.
No, you're behind.
Now I've got local Connecticut.
No, I have pictures of all the players.
Now I got them. Okay, so I got Corey Foreman doing the ropes, so I'm behind.
Yeah, there's Corey Foreman in white. Corey Foreman. Put on a TV, Mike.
I don't have a TV in this room. I'm
How
live
zen-
streaming. Live streaming, baby. You'll just have to let me know.
Okay, I'll let you know. I had it
Yeah.
on mute. So.
I mean, it's not. I don't foresee a billion surprises. Do you?
No.
I mean, Terrence
Jordan-
Lewis. I don't know. I don't know if it's Miami or Maryland.
I think that one is a toss-up. I think Jordan Gilbert is a toss-up. And I think Tristan Lee seems to be now a toss-up.
Yeah. I've got Miami for Terrence Lewis, but
That would be big.
both sides are confident.
Both sides.
as usual. That's the thing about this is people think you can just ask sources at schools, but no, they all think they're getting a kid. So
Yeah.
yeah, we feel good. Great. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
And we're down to 21. We just lost 3 people.
That's okay. They'll be back.
So what's the Ole Miss score?
20-6 Ole Miss. That's a surprising score, huh?
No, I took Ole Miss.
Nice. Did you take Kentucky?
No, I took NC State.
That is not good for you.
Is it 13-7 still?
13-7, but the Wildcats are about to punch another one in with 7 minutes left.
I went on one of those apps that you told me to go on.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, take the Wolfpack." Blah 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 blah. But that line made no sense. There's no way Kentucky should have been favored, so I should have seen that and gone the opposite, right? And not the opposite, but just stupid line. Take it because it's stupid, and I didn't.
Yeah. So you look at the ticket spread, and then if the money spread is the opposite way, you follow the money because that's supposedly the sharp bettors.
I completely got killed yesterday.
So or doing it, but I'm done for the season. I've given.
Oh wait,
up.
what? Who should I take?
Oregon and A&M.
Okay, I'm taking them.
Okay.
I don't find those money things. You're gonna have to show that to me sometime on the app.
Yeah, you got to subscribe for it.
Oh, I'll do that. I have no problem doing that. I didn't know that was a subscription thing.
Yeah.
Is Corral? I haven't really been watching. I watched more Kentucky, NC State. Has Corral thrown any picks?
I haven't been watching. I've been preparing for the big day.
How?
I took my daughter on the swings, and then I took a shower. Then I put this sweatshirt on.
That's preparing.
Yeah.
Who do you think's first? They're gonna have to go with I
would say Armand Bethea or Elijah Judy.
Bethea is Arizona State, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, so they're doing this like they got the 2 guys in the booth, and then they're gonna go to Barton over in a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they wouldn't even use these guys because they know nothing about these players.
Should I put the audio on so we can follow along, or would that be interruptive toward the live stream?
I think it would double
Audio.
It would echo and stuff. So, yeah, this is interesting. I thought it would just be Barton sitting there staring at a screen for 2 hours.
Now, how they're going to actually do them, because I know Corey Foreman has a video to release, so it might be some videos being released. I don't know, live things.
Well, I would assume they're going to do it like ESPN does, and they're going to live stream to the kid. There he is. Oh, wait, they put something with him? Someone with him? Oh.
Yeah, that's the sideline reporter guy.
Dude, Barton looks skinny.
Barton needs to eat a little bit more.
Dude.
It also looks like he has his phone in his front pocket, and that's a city move. You put it in your back pocket, right?
Yeah, but I haven't seen Barton in a long time. His head has never looked so big.
Maybe it's the coat is just a little too big.
I mean, I shouldn't talk about dressing.
Right. I mean, look at us.
Right, but I can critique this. And there's Marty on the left. Marty looks the same as always, but they put Barton with Marty.
Where is this NBC studio? In New York?
There's one in Connecticut. Remember we used to be partnered with NBC.
Yes.
Yeah, their main studio is in Connecticut, but they can't be in Connecticut. I mean, this must be. I don't know where the hell this would be. See, that looks better as they zoomed in. His head doesn't look as big.
Yeah.
But you're right. That is a phone in his front pocket. First of all, you put it in your jacket pocket, right?
Yeah, put it in your jacket pocket. Oh, here we go. Look at Wyndon out and by the ocean. I mean, Hawaii is just so beautiful.
Oh, they're starting with Hawaii. I'm way behind.
Yeah, you are way behind. I'm going to be breaking all this news.
I couldn't care less. Guess where he's going? Nebraska. Boom. Nailed it, right?
You are probably right on that one.
25 people watching. Good idea, Gorney.
We are 7 minutes in.
Doesn't matter. You think this is going to get anywhere close to 100?
No, I'm saying we're only 7 minutes in. It
Yeah, we're
feels
7 minutes
forever.
into this hell where 25 people are watching two morons. Like, this was your great idea.
Hey, I'm not the one that stopped the All-American Bowl from happening. I would happily be in San Antonio right now.
I'm going to retweet it again.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to undo my retweet and then tweet it. So let's see. We got retweets.
Breaking news, Mike.
What?
The order is Tristan Lee
He's going first?
going first. Wyndon Howohuli, Terrence Lewis, Armand Bethia, Sierra Wright, Deontay Anderson, Elijah Judy, Jordan Gilbert, and then Corey Foreman.
So people can't comment on this live feed, huh?
Dave Berry, from our video staff, says that if you guys open this on your browser but mute it, you can see people asking questions on the side.
Oh, there we go. Looking good, guys. I'm going to report
Compliment to start? Wow.
him. No, it's from Dave Berry. Should I report him or block him?
I would probably report him.
I want play camp rivals. Got a
Okay.
future. You got a future. Maybe look into your academics a little bit, perhaps.
How are we on the Rivals Camp Series schedule, Mike? Should we release it today on our Zoom call?
Or not? No.
No.
Feverishly been working on that for months.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do see the comments on here though. Any idea where Gilbert goes? He's not today. How do we respond to this? Oh, hello.
Jordan Gilbert.
My Vines. Why did I come up as My Vines?
My Vines. What are you
Yeah, is that my
doing?
burner account?
Probably.
I don't even have it. I don't even know what a burner account is.
He's talking about Jordan Gilbert, Mike.
Oh, sorry. I got so many Eric Gilbert questions today. My Vines is Mike Farrell.
So is it Georgia, as people now are saying, do you think? I mean, that would be
No,
pretty
Tennessee.
impressive. You think he's Tennessee?
I do. Because Harrison Bailey, I think he wants to go play with his old quarterback.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do agree with Dave. We do look
Sick in
good.
Knoxville, or is that close enough that he could get home?
That's close enough. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Eastern Tennessee, very close. Okay, so Josh Oliver said, just say it. You don't have to type it out. We were watching you.
See?
He just called me stupid,
This is great.
isn't it?
Once they start committing, I think it'll start getting better, because I'm not sure it could be much worse, Mike.
I like the kid that said, I want play camp rivals, though. That reminds me of 90 Day Fiance a little bit.
Well, get that kid an invite. Which city and what's the date?
No, don't worry. He's going to get an invite
We're quickly into January.
just so I can interview him. What you like about schools?
All right, overall top. Oh, they're doing a Tua ad on this now. I don't like that I can't listen.
Well, listen.
We're going to get doubled.
I don't know if we will or won't. What do you
Let's
need
try.
to listen to? What are these guys going to say that you're actually going to be interested in?
Is that bothering you?
Nope.
Perfect. All right, Tristan Lee is up.
Yeah, that's a good question. Somebody's asking if Jaheim Singletary committed yet. He's doing it at his school.
Yeah, I don't believe it's happened yet.
Well, it was supposed to be 2, but I know it's going to take forever. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those.
Still like Ohio State for that one, right?
Yes. Wait, do I have my future cast in?
He does not. He has not announced yet.
Jaheim Singletary Jacksonville, Florida, Robert Lee Light High School.
No, that's from December. Okay. We are still waiting on Jaheim Singletary. Ohio State. That's a
Yeah, I
big
got Ohio
Sean
State.
Wade connection there was big, huh?
Yeah. I mean, no doubt. The Jacksonville is a feeder to Ohio State.
Yeah.
No, Singletary hasn't committed yet. So that's what you're telling me. Jaheim. Today is the day he's so fired up.
I remember seeing Tristan Lee last year at the Combine. That's where we made him a 5-star after that performance.
I think we made it after, not after that one, but yeah. I mean, the next one we ranked in February, and then I think in May we made him a 5-star. Well, let me see how far behind.
Yeah, they just went to him, so he's doing the typical thanking everyone. The hats are Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Ohio State, LSU, Oklahoma.
All right. It was apparently leaked that he's going to choose Clemson, but I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah.
So we'll
Maybe
see.
Believe it could still be Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma, but I had Oklahoma for Wheaton, Egbuka,
It's Clemson.
Foster.
Clemson.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Oklahoma could not be closing worse.
No, this is bad. Egbuka, which was a long shot. Bryce Foster's a miss. Tristan Lee is a miss. I mean, those guys were pretty much all but set there, right?
So, I mean, Bryce Foster has family at Texas A&M. So,
yeah,
what he told me was he was leaning towards A&M for a while this season because he saw the improvement in the offensive line play.
Mm-hmm.
But Lee had been leaning towards Oklahoma forever. Then he visited Florida, and people thought, okay, maybe they're going to mix it up here. But Clemson was kind of thought to be eliminated.
Yeah.
And now they've got a 5-star. And it's interesting, too, because some of the guys I spoke to today are like, oh, why would he go to Clemson? They don't produce offensive linemen, And, I guess it really depends. I mean, Jackson Carman's a 5-star who's done well there, but not as well as expected.
Expected a little bit, yeah.
And we'll see how Walker Parks does, who was almost a 5-star, and we'll see how Lee does. But Oklahoma has a better track record. LSU has a slightly better track record. Obviously, Alabama has a better track record. So, but Clemson wins. So good news for them coming off of a rough night.
Let's talk Oklahoma. Bryce Foster, Tristan Lee.
Oh, they closed horribly.
Egbuka and Kamar Wheaton, who
now Egbuka was like, they got him on campus.
Yeah.
They had a chance to get him, but Ohio State was the leader for a while. So that one was kind of like a long shot. Kamar Wheaton was not, but Alabama, what I understand is they really came hard after Kamar Wheaton quite a bit late after Trey Sanders' auto accident.
And then there were the rumors that Trey Sanders was transferring.
Right. And so something's going on there where they just decided they want all in on Kamar Wheaton and they got him. And Oklahoma apparently just is helpless to that, like many schools are. Bryce Foster, again, he told me track has a lot to do with it. He also told me A&M, obviously family, but the way their offensive line played this year improved from last year.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma's offensive line is impressive as well. So I don't know what's going on. It's a rough close. I mean, I was on Sooner Scoop the other day, our Oklahoma site, and people were like super depressed. And I'm like, you still got a good class, but the way it finishes is what everybody cares about.
Yeah, and you saw Kamar Wheaton at Future 50 last year. We haven't seen too much of him. He never talks.
He's a track kid, man. He's big and thick, and he's a track kid. They are in Stanford, by the way. They just showed on the little map.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so it's a couple hours south of me.
But yeah, Oklahoma shouldn't be depressed. Savion Byrd is maybe a little bit of a project, but pick them over SMU, which was a real contender. They flipped Billy Bowman, who is perfect for what they want to do on both sides of the ball. McCutcheon had been committed to Alabama. They got Williams, obviously. They're Mario Williams stuck, and I don't even know if he's ever seen the campus, right?
No, that was a good one to keep. Oklahoma's 13th in the country with 16 commitments. It didn't finish strong though, and that's what everybody cares about.
Yeah.
Bowman was great. Things were at the Bowman time, things were like really looking good. They got Billy Bowman, and then at that point in time, they were final two for everybody, and they lost them all. So that's a disappointing finish for sure, especially after that performance against Florida. But what are you going to do? I mean, Clemson has been to the playoff every year forever.
Yep.
So losing a recruit to them, they lost a recruit to Alabama. They're pretty good. They lost a recruit to A&M. They're on the rise. So it's not like they're losing to SMU and Houston, but just still not a great look at the end of the season here.
No. And a good finish for Clemson. Wiggins essentially flipping and getting Lee, who really didn't have Clemson as a top school for much of a long time, and he's got a younger brother too. I don't know how good he is. We'll see.
Well, that's the other thing too, is the younger brother's not as good, not nearly as good yet. I wonder if they have to.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they'll take him. I'm sure that was part of the agreement.
Well, they gotta hope his brother gets a little bit better. Indiana's within a score. It's 20-13 now.
Yep. They were 9-point favorites in that game, though.
Yeah, I think I'm safe.
Wow, here comes Kentucky for the second time, I believe, today, was stopped at the goal line and had to kick a field goal. NC State came back and scored 16-14 with 4.5 left. You have them plus 2.5, right?
I think.
Yeah, so you're good.
I think. I might have pulled this one out.
Yeah.
I got to check my slip. Who's up next? The kid from Hawaii?
Yes, Wyndon.
So this is a good time for me to go pee, right?
Sure. Yeah, you better hurry up, though, because they're going to go right back to him.
Yeah, well, listen, you can handle this on your own.
Okay. I'll just
How do I turn off? I definitely want to turn off my video, though. How do I do that?
Please turn off your audio as well. I don't need to hear any moaning.
This is just a pee break, as far as we know. Oh, what the heck? There's mute.
Oh, how I miss San Antonio at this time of year.
I do not.
Dough pizza, phenomenal. Big Bib barbecue, phenomenal.
I'm just gonna go. I'll be back.
All right, hurry up, 'cause they're back. Nice shorts.
Thanks.
Well, I'm sitting here all alone. Mike went to the bathroom. I will check the scores again. Mississippi driving with 13 minutes left. That looks good. Kentucky will be punting. I believe punting. Let's see. See all plays. Yep, NC State scored 16-13. And then Kentucky went 3 and out. 3 minutes left. NC State with the ball. And they only need a field goal to win. Let's watch the broadcast here.
Watching Wyndon on the field and be mesmerized. He's explosive. He's zoned into the game, but I know he does it with passion.
Back.
All right, Wyndon is up. Okay, I will be flipping this.
Did you put a thumbs up on our YouTube?
No,
You hit the little thumbs up thing.
I'm not even on the YouTube thing.
Oh.
I was told not to go on that, right?
All right, that's fine.
Wyndon, this is going to be a nice one. He likes to hit. He's one of those Hawaiian linebacker kids that flies all over the place. Maybe a little undersized right now, but he'll get bigger. It is not even 10:30 in the morning there.
Should I do I have a Clemson helmet?
I don't believe you do.
I have a mini. If he chooses Nebraska, I don't know where it went. I got my Nebraska signed by all the Heisman winners, which is pretty cool, right?
That is cool. He's about to announce. I have to flip my story live as we go here.
You prepared, are you?
Must prepare. If you fail to prepare, Mike, prepare to fail.
Look at how far that is. I'm never going to Hawaii.
No, you'll love it. Nebraska. No surprise there.
Everybody appropriately masked up.
Masked up. You got to stay safe out there, Mike.
I like it.
Yeah, Nebraska gets a big one here. He never visited. He was another one of those kids. Hold on, I have to tweet out the story.
I'll retweet it. How about that?
Okay.
Down to 38 people.
All right. Well, the big ones are coming in.
Wow. We got to be more entertaining, clearly.
I'll tag you, Mike, in it.
Yeah. Tag away.
He was another one of these kids who. Okay, let me just make sure it looks good.
There it is. Boom. So here's what I like about him. Really thin frame, right?
Yeah.
Not going to get huge. Going to be an undersized linebacker. But just a great motor, hustles. You don't see anything on film where he doesn't finish the play, and he'll run things down. And I think effort is more important. I think he's a 4-star in effort and a 3-star when it comes to, size and talent. So
right.
I would rather have the effort than the size and the athleticism. And I think that's what Nebraska needs. They need more of those kids. So people ask me all the time, how can Nebraska get better recruiting? Well, you got to find kids that fit what you'd like to do, like Tom Allen in Indiana is doing and some other schools, and get kids that will just run through a wall for you. And this is what they're getting here.
Yeah. And he had taken the recruiting process very slowly, was really kind of waiting to take visits, was hoping that they'd open up so he could go see schools, and had only seen Washington on an unofficial, but Scott Frost and his staff were super aggressive. They kept after him. They kept talking to him, trying to convince him. And Nebraska had been definitely one of the top schools for months now. So, like you said, effort kid, can play in space, likes to hit, not super physical looking when you see him in person, but will bulk up and should be good in the Big Ten playing in space.
And, we say all this and you just don't know. It's so far away from home.
Yeah.
But he doesn't appear to be a portal kid. And you know what I mean by that.
I was just going to say, what do you mean by that, Mike?
Well, here's the thing. They've been recruiting they under Riley, they recruited some flaky kids from the West Coast.
Yes.
And we knew they were flaky. Okay.
Yes.
And then they recruited some kids from South Florida that were perhaps not invested in this destination if things didn't work out immediately.
Right.
The instant gratification types. He doesn't
Yes.
strike me as either of those.
No.
And that's been the problem at Nebraska is, they get the 4 stars from Miami and they transfer. They get the 4 stars from California, they transfer. When things don't go well in Lincoln, Nebraska, and if you're from those areas and you don't have that, I want to be here for, the real reasons, not just if we don't win right away, I'm out, then, that's what you're going to have trouble with. So all the Nebraska fans ask me, why do we get kids who are 4 stars that don't pan out? Well, you're taking risks on these kids. I mean, it's not like everybody in the world was recruiting these kids. That's why they went to Nebraska.
Right.
They didn't really have homes closer. They had people that really wanted them to stay home. So, I think this is one that sticks, and hopefully it does. I'm still waiting for Jaheim Singletary.
So Terrence Lewis is up next. He was sitting, I believe, outside of his house. I believe he was eating a piece of pizza. And there is a Tennessee hat on the table now.
I'll tell you what, he could pull an Aggies hat, and that's a donut, bro.
That's a donut? Oh, okay.
I know a donut from pizza. Dude, that red All-American helmet is nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
I'm gonna make a text message.
A text message to see if he's picking a certain school?
Yeah. No.
All right. I
They're
like
not
it.
gonna tell me.
No, they'll say they feel good about it. I think he goes to Maryland.
Hold on, there's people working.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. My phone's blowing up too. Like all these people surprised at Tristan Lee and all that. And this is okay. So Maryland obviously got in on him late, and Loxley's a great recruiter, and he did this with the QB. Remember the QB from Louisiana that they beat Florida State for, who's already in the portal?
No.
You probably don't. All right, but anyways, they got in late. They did a great job. They closed. Loxley can close on anybody, but Miami is close to home, and they weren't going to go on him until recently because of some off-field stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's the option. If he has that option, like Florida, if he had the option to go to Florida, you would have looked at them a lot closer. Now that he's got the option to go to Miami, I think that's where he's going to end up. That's my guess.
Yeah,
But
that would be.
surprisingly, both sides feel good.
Both sides feel good. Okay. Mike, bad news for you from the bowl games today. Kentucky, not really known as an offensive juggernaut, got the ball back after NC State went 3-and-out and scored on a 26-yard run to now be up 23-14 with 2 minutes.
Come on. Are you kidding
But
me?
NC State is now driving.
Barney, why do you have to bring me bad news all the time?
NC State timeout 3rd and 20. So things are not
Oh.
looking so hot.
Yeah, with Hawkman still in,
Yeah.
lefty.
Whatever happened to Devin Leary? I thought he was pretty good in high school.
Didn't he get hurt?
I don't remember. Okay, Terrence Lewis is now talking. His sister is now talking.
All right.
This is someone in 5-star discussions throughout the recruiting process.
Still in 5-star discussions. We got one more ranking to do too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where he goes, whether it's Tennessee or Miami or Maryland. I couldn't care less. He'll still
Does
be
not matter.
discussed.
He's a player, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's just some issues.
He's a kid too that's gotten bigger over the last year. I remember seeing him last year in San Antonio, and he was kind of a
little bigger. He's
Yeah.
definitely more of a get skinny on you than go through you type of kid.
yeah.
And
yeah,
his shoulders aren't wide, so he's not going to carry, 250, but he'll carry 225, 230 as an outside linebacker.
And he'll hit you.
Quick twitch.
All right, down to Opalaka.
Closes well. Loves to hit. Wolf, nickname Wolf.
Nickname Wolf, but
I
a
love
self
him.
nickname.
I love him. He didn't like me.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get the 5th star.
Maryland, Tennessee, or Miami? Maryland.
I'm wrong about everything.
Yeah.
Good job, Mike Loxley.
Yeah, that's big.
Hold on. This deserves a shout out. Did you see this?
We've gone over that helmet before. It's probably one of the worst ones that you
No.
have.
It is gorgeous. It's so pretty, and Maryland deserves the props because not only did they steal away Jennings from Michigan, now they got
that's
Lewis.
big.
So the linebacker take has been amazing this season. So Terps Nation, and they got Robinson too. The local kid who's
The local kid.
sort of a
local
hybrid
four-star.
type of kid. So defensively, this has been an extremely good class.
Yeah, the Johnson kid from DC is a 4-star. They got the JUCO kid Spraggins. Robinson, like you said. Some good local defensive ends.
So let's see, Maryland.
They went to Florida for Darrell Jackson, who had been committed to Tennessee. This is a nice haul for him. Now, the question is what's the ceiling for Maryland in the Big Ten East? Because
The Big Ten East, remember a few years ago where it was impossible?
yeah,
Might as
it
well
is.
give
It
up.
was definitely down this year.
It's down, man. Michigan has been down for the last few years. Penn State's down this year. Michigan State is completely regrouping.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they can make a run to win it because Ohio State's going to win it every year for the next foreseeable year forever.
Yeah.
But Rutgers and Maryland can make a little noise in there now, whereas before we thought, just give up. No point.
Right.
And that's not the
Right.
case.
And
anymore.
Indiana's getting much better, obviously.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a really good class. Defensively, they needed a lot of help. And, like I said, he's a really good recruiter. So they were less confident than Miami. So that was a little bit of a head fake, clearly. But they're ranked 23rd in the country prior to his commitment. So cemented in right now in a top 25 class for Maryland. That's really good.
Mike, breaking news. NC State has scored.
Touchdown?
With 1 minute left. They are only down 2 points.
Telling you.
Indiana is also driving with 8 minutes left to tie it up.
Tie's fine. Go to overtime.
Yeah.
All you
doesn't
want.
matter.
Let's
Did
see
you
if we
take
can-
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I'll be like, let's see if we can get that 9.5 point touchdown. I dare you.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. So that's fine. I'm in real good shape there. It's the NC State one. That's a miracle. Bailey Hawkman,
Yeah, that is a
27-40, 268 yards. But so
End of the game, he won.
Clemson getting richer. But you like to see commitments like this, right? I mean, this is a South Florida kid. This is going to help Maryland recruit South Florida. Sends a message to the rest of the state that Maryland is, a for real option.
Right.
And everybody's going to forget about, as long as he, behaves himself, everybody's going to forget about all the other garbage. And you've got yourself, not only a linebacker that can come off the edge and pass rush, but is really good in coverage and a quick twitch kid. So this defense is going to be in a couple of years really, really strong at linebacker. I like commitments like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting. I mean, obviously, other schools had kind of backed off a little bit, and we'll see if he was even a take at Tennessee, which is, they love to say, schools that don't get kids say that
he
no,
still
he
was.
wasn't a take.
He still was.
Except for
From what I know, he's still a take at Tennessee. He's still in Miami, Maryland, Texas A&M. No, Florida was iffy, but he was a take at Tennessee for sure. So he's a kid we're going to look at one more time. His senior film came in after our rankings.
Yeah.
And he was sure to deliver that to me via DM, even though he hasn't talked to me in like a couple months, because I thought he was going to be a 5-star back in May.
Yeah.
And again, our Florida guy didn't like him as much as I did. And I try not to overstep at times, but
At times.
this is an interesting one down the stretch here.
Yeah. And it continues to kind of show that the state of Florida gets rated pretty good. I mean, if you look at the top 10 kids in the state, 2 are going to Florida, 2 are going to Miami, 3 are going to Alabama. Continues to be a major problem for the in-state schools. Florida State is nowhere to be found within the top. I think they have 1 kid signed.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm a Florida fan, I'm wondering about this. If I'm a Florida fan, okay.
Yeah.
Closed very poorly. Right around early signing period. Got Austin Barber, but whiffed on a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Singletary, who I don't know if he's picked yet, was supposed to be a Florida lock.
Now goes to Ohio State.
Most likely Ohio State. And then you kind of have, you got a couple linebackers in this class. Well, you get Chief Borders and Jeremiah Williams. Jeremiah Williams is sort of a hybrid guy, but I like him as a stand-up guy. But he's 6'4", 230 pounds. I mean, Borders is the same, but I don't think he's as quick twitch or hybrid. So,
right.
Don't you take a chance on Terrence Lewis?
Yeah, I mean,
and he committed to you
really
before.
Diligence and can't get there from off the field. You take a shot on Terrence Lewis. I mean,
and he committed to you before. He wanted to be a Gator. So I think that's one the Gators fans are going to be watching for a little bit and see what he does up there. And again, he's not going to shatter the earth at Maryland. I mean, even Stephon Diggs and guys like that don't get national attention that much at Maryland. But if Florida's linebacker play struggles and you see him starting early in the Big Ten, you wonder.
Yeah, you do wonder. All right, they're showing Corey Foreman, but he's not going for a few minutes, I don't believe. Next on the list should be Armand Bethea. Indiana scores to tie it with under 6 left.
What is going on?
In a defensive battle.
Tristan Lee, by the way, I want to express my disappointment in him.
Okay.
He went silent on me as well.
As they do.
Not all of them, though.
No.
Just disappointing.
Yeah.
But he got his moment in the sun to surprise everybody, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it was a surprise. I mean, to a lot of people. When you flip in future casts a couple hours before a telecast, you've done a good job of keeping people in the dark.
Yeah. I wonder how long he has been locked in on Clemson, though. It seems like not very. I get the sense that he was going to go to Oklahoma until something changed very recently.
Yeah, but what would that be? I mean, I'm trying to see if there's
What
anybody.
would that be?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anybody in this class that is like that he's tied to or friends with, or I mean, I know people don't pick based on that, but he went on the Sooner Summit. You know, he went on an LSU visit, and went on the Florida
Yeah.
visit. I don't remember a big Clemson visit weekend that he attended. Maybe I'm missing
Nope.
something there. He's the only kid from the state of Virginia in this class, so it's interesting. I mean, it's certainly a great get for Clemson and a must need, I think, because like I said, the O-line has been one of their weaknesses. Even when Deshaun was doing his thing, the offensive line has not been great.
Yeah.
So now they put him with Pennington and Marcus Tate, who I love his upside. Linthicum is a tough kid from Maryland. But we'll see if he develops that way. I wouldn't say I'm as comfortable with him as developing as a 5-star at Clemson as I would be Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, places like that. Who's next?
Armand Bethea should be coming up here shortly. They're talking about all of the sons. You'll love this. The sons of NFL fathers: Jeremiah Trotter, Marvin Harrison,
Okay.
Corey. They might actually be talking about the St. Peter's Prep kids, because they're also talking to Kyle McCord's father, Mike.
Oh, there he is. He loves us.
Mm-hmm. And doing the interview is Corey Robinson, the former All-American himself that we covered.
Oh yeah, David's kid.
Yeah.
So he's working in TV now?
Should I share my David Robinson story at the All-American Bowl?
I think we have, but you could share it again.
It was the night before the combine, and we had gone out for a dinner and some after dinner drinks. and for anyone that's listening, I don't take elevators, so I was taking the escalator back up to my hotel room. But it was late and it was dark in the Grand Hyatt in San Antonio.
You were drunk.
And I was expecting the elevator to be moving, and I didn't see that it wasn't moving until the last second.
Escalator.
And one of the notches that is like at the end of an escalator step, I fell on it and it went right into my knee, like literally into my knee, and it hurt so badly, and I still have a scar there. The next day I wake up, I could hardly move my leg. It's like there's goo and pus and everything else coming out of it. It was awful.
Gross.
And I go to the combine, and someone comes up to me and goes, "Hey, David Robinson is over there. Do you want to do an interview?" And I said, yes, but he was on the other side of the field. So it took me limping like 40 minutes to get over to him, but he is truly one of the nicest people in the world. So he didn't even say things like Mike had said to me that day about my knee.
Well, first of all, I was very supportive about your knee. I wasn't with you that night, but when you do over drink, you're just awful. So I can imagine it wasn't dark or anything. It was just you're inebriated, and the ends of those escalators can be like knives. So
yeah, it is.
You went right into it, and then you showed me your knee the next day because it was the combine, and I was just repulsed. It was disgusting.
It was
like
disgusting.
Pussy, oozy, gross. And I said to you, my famous quote, I said, "Pus is good. That means it's healing."
Yeah, the infection is getting out. Yeah.
Right. And then I told you, there's David Robinson about 150 yards away.
Yeah.
Go get him. We need an interview.
Do an interview.
Yeah. And then
hey,
you
Ryan
limped.
Day is talking now. What a workhorse this guy is.
You limped all the way over there. And, to his credit, he didn't say what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
He was very nice to you. And
He easily could have, though.
But that's scorning on the road, man. I mean, you've hurt your knee.
No, that's Gorney on the road as a youngster. Now I stay home and I get a pizza and I watch TV.
Called your wife twice with the same questions once.
That was weird.
You vomited.
All right. That was because of food poisoning at the CVS.
I don't know. Who gets food poisoning at CVS?
No, at CVS was where I got sick. But we had gone to a certain restaurant that you go to every single day on the road, Buffalo Wild Wings, and it just didn't sit well.
I'm just saying, these are things. And you went 8 days without a movement.
That was in Orlando, yeah.
8 days. Well, no, there was a 2 week of Orlando to San Antonio. You spent
It was
the
the end of
entire
the
time
first
in
week.
Orlando, and you didn't do anything until I taught you what Miralax was in San Antonio.
Yeah,
You're a pretty amazing person.
I would say so.
Who's next?
They're talking to Ryan Day now.
All right. Bethea's going where? Arizona State?
I believe so. He was down to 4: Arkansas, Ole Miss, Louisville, Arizona State. This Arizona State class is a little weird.
But they held back for some transfers. They just got the tight end from Oklahoma, who's a talented kid. They're gonna rely on the portal more than this class. This class is a bunch of kids that just academically have no clue.
Right.
Right? I mean, so they couldn't take all of them.
Right.
But
you know,
Ole Miss scored?
let me see. Let me look at the old Yahoo Sports app. Indiana just scored to tie it up, and then Ole Miss scored.
That's right.
So 4:12 left.
You can't stop.
Ole Miss will be. Oh, but they missed the extra point, which is actually sort of better for you, Mike.
Oh, it's very much better for me.
Yeah.
You know what was better for me yesterday in the Alabama game was when they got the onside kick, and I'm like, oh, at least I've got a prayer that Ian Book's going to throw a pick six.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. But I mean, that's how it gets when you become, into these lines and spreads and you make these picks and stuff. It's like, you pray for the last thing that could possibly happen.
Oh.
And, it was Ian Book throwing a pick six, but he didn't.
That was just nauseating. I mean, Alabama, that game, we could talk about it at length on another podcast, but it was really almost like Notre Dame was trying to shorten the game to just a ridiculous level of not even trying to score. And Alabama went up 14-0 and goes, all right, game's over. They're never going to score twice. It's over.
Well,
and is that what the playoff is supposed to be?
But that's Notre Dame's game, man. I mean, when they went down 14-0 quick and they went on that long drive for the touchdown, that's their game. 8-minute drive, pound it, 12 plays, whatever it was. And then it's 14-7 and you're still alive. But the problem is Alabama comes back and scores in like 2 seconds. And then you got to do that over and over and over again. So I don't think it was Notre Dame trying to play conservative. That's just, they have no choice. They have no wide receivers, no speed on the outside whatsoever. They got 2 big tight ends. One of them got hurt. And that's it.
Let's not act like this is Wisconsin here. I mean, they scored, they beat Clemson the first time 47-40. They scored 31 on North Carolina, 45 on Boston College, 42 on Florida State. They can score if they want to score. They just didn't. They wanted to make that game as short as possible in the hopes that they could stay even relatively close.
Well, and they almost made it 31-21. And looking back in history, that would have been like a 10-point loss and not so bad.
Should have been 31-7. The game should have been over. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, Saban blew it. He's the one who blew it. That penalty was just a killer.
It was stupid.
Yeah. And I was so upset, and he's upset. We didn't close the way we should have closed. I'm like, well, that's because of you.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're winning 31-7. It was an incomplete pass. Just shut your mouth.
Yeah.
But the funniest was when the headphones didn't work.
Yeah. What? I can't hear you. Maria Taylor or whoever, Allison Williams or whatever, she was standing like 3 feet from him. What do you mean you can't hear him?
And she did a good job too. Like her first interview with him was good because he's He's not a thrilling person.
No,
He's
no.
better than Belichick, but he's along those lines. And
Right.
and then she's got to deal with him having a little hissy fit over his headphones. And then they ask him to put back on the headphones, and he's like putting back on the headphones, and he's doing everything under protest. And
We
it's
talk
like,
about this all the time, but like, how childish can you possibly be as a person? The headphones don't work, and he has to like freak out about it. Like he has to storm into the locker room to fix everything. I mean, how childish can you possibly be as a human being?
well, listen, he's the same guy who was screaming at the top of his lungs about that freaking perfect coverage incomplete pass.
I know.
What was there to yell about?
Because he has to yell. Because I used to work with a guy who said the coaches are the strangest people in the world. When things go bad, when things go well, they aren't excited, and when things go bad, they yell. So I mean, what do you want?
Well, and also when they get big time, they become big time, and they treat you like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I mean, I got so many guys that were just kissing my ass for years and years and years as GAs and assistant coaches and this, that, the other. And then all of a sudden they get a big head coaching job. And I don't know, Mike, I got to spread the wealth.
Yep.
Can't tell you everything. Got to be fair to the rest of the media. I'm like, these mouth breathing idiots that you've never talked to or known before in your life. You're going to screw me for that?
Well, we all know what it is. It's who can I manipulate to get where I want to be in life? And
yeah, well, and that's I feel like I've been manipulated though.
yes, you have been.
Like I don't feel like I manipulated anybody to get where I am, but yet I've been used and abused.
That's the victim mentality right there, Mike.
It's also probably for my therapist.
Yeah, that is too.
Is this kid up yet?
Armand Bethia is
Come on.
talking now, so he should be
Let's go.
committing at any time.
Erasmus Hall. Name a great player from Erasmus Hall.
I do know that name. Great player, though.
Great player.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Played at Ohio State.
Armand Bethia is up. He has Arizona State, Arkansas, Louisville, and Ole Miss as expected. And he's still waiting and deliberating. Still talking. Everyone is appropriately masked except for the person talking, and that continues to be an annoying thing.
I'm just gonna keep the sun in my eyes like this.
Arizona State.
Wow, shocker. I got that one though. I'm like 2 for 4. This is horrible.
Well, that's 50%. It's like good 3-point shooting.
My crystal ball is like 86%, so that's gonna lower me.
You mean your future cast, Mike?
I did it. I did it. And there's 42 people watching. It's all right. That was a little hint.
Adam Friedman reporting New York City. Offensive lineman Armand Bethia has committed ASU. Take a look at what the Sun Devils are getting and why it's big, Herm Edwards and his staff.
Yeah, not big 4, just big. Curtis Samuel.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good. Very good.
Okay. So this is what's funny about this. Have you ever heard of Wayne Morgan?
Yes. Yes. He was also a kid from there.
2012, Wayne Morgan.
Yes.
Cornerback.
Always felt he was underrated. Am I right?
Yes. And he was horrendous.
Yes.
And a certain site down south had him as close to a 5-star at one point. And a 4-star forever and ever. And I was at a 7-on-7 at Rutgers where he was just horrible. And again, his coach, And I don't make this up. His coach's name was Mousy Don.
Mousy Don.
Mousy Don. And he was a little guy, but he had a big New York attitude, right?
Yeah.
So Mousy, he's in my grill about Wayne. And I'm like, he's not good.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to Syracuse because he got 45 offers and legitimately had like one.
Right.
And I don't believe he did anything there. So then Mousy comes up to me. He's like, I got another kid. This kid's really, really good. And I'm like, come on, man.
His name's Curtis Samuel.
His name's Curtis Samuel. I'm like, come on. You already tried to sell me on Wayne. Don't do this. And then I watched Samuel's sophomore film. He was just electric. And he finished 49th in the country. Could have been a 5-star. He's with the Panthers, I think, now. But the funny part about that Rutgers 7-on-7 was Wayne Morgan was so highly ranked on that other website. But the two national guys of that other website showed up for the 7-on-7. And back then, 7-on-7, but back then it was an 8-hour day minimum.
Yeah.
This was a pylon nightmare day. They stayed for a half hour and took off, gone, never to be seen again. And I was so jealous as I sat there for 8 hours with, John Schmidt and whoever else sitting there scouting for the All-American Bowl, watching Wayne.
That is the tournament, though, where you and John Schmidt were literally in lawn chairs sitting, though, right?
No, that was Philly.
Oh, okay.
That was our kiss the ring, kind of, when we were on the selection committee for the All-American Bowl, and we would sit in our lawn chairs. And Friedman was an intern at the time, so we would send him to go get food.
Yeah.
And, people would come up to us and introduce themselves and their kid, and we wouldn't stand up. We would just sit there and just rudely look up at them and, give the hand, like kiss the ring. That's the peak of our egotisticalism was Philly.
That was pretty high. But I will say you made one fatal 7-on-7 error, and that error is the opportunity of mobility, because when the parents start coming, I got to take pictures. I got to get to this field. That's the move, because when you're sitting to move out, that's tough.
Yeah. Well, we did sit at Rutgers too. I mean, it was the same year. And we made the decision, I did, because I'm lazy, to sit and not try to be a moving target, because they were everywhere. We were in a bubble.
There was nowhere to go. Yeah.
I mean, we were in a bubble, so you just couldn't. And I remember, what was the kid's name? He played at Penn State. You should know. He was a defensive end. Last name began with a Z.
Oh, Zettel?
Yes. Anthony Zettel?
Anthony Zettel?
He was there. And his father, the kid was from Michigan. His father was like the scariest human being ever. Like, he had all his hunting gear on, right?
Nice.
I swear he had deer pee on him.
Nice.
And he was just looking with the darting eyes like he was going to bow and arrow someone to death. And Zettel was a lunatic. Like, Anthony was like, take every rep at 180 miles an hour and just try to eat people. And that's when we got mobile, when we saw Zettel's father coming over.
Yeah.
We picked up the
Zettel
chairs and took off.
In the country that year.
He was really good. He went to the NFL for a little bit.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I remember that.
His dad.
I could be wrong about this story, but I believe his dad passed away right before they played in the Big Ten championship game. Do you remember that story?
Oh, well, now I feel bad. Thanks.
Well, you've done that multiple times over the years.
I have.
But he played in the game, I remember. And I just don't remember what game it was.
He played with the Lions, the Browns, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Vikings, and the Saints.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah. Didn't pan out, but he's a 6-rounder. Let me see. Anthony's little father.
So Sierra Wright is up next.
He died on Friday, 18-month battle with stage 4 cancer. 46 years old.
Oh.
And he played the next day. Wow.
Yeah.
So my Zettel story about his dad is just mean.
Still awesome.
And yours is good.
Yeah. Sierra Wright is up next. He's sitting in a king's chair.
I like that.
It turns me off a little bit,
Nah,
especially
that's okay. That's okay.
for
I
kids
like
at USC who believe that they've already made it and
He's not at USC.
really need to prove themselves.
Are you ruining his moment?
No, I believe USC is the team to beat.
I do too.
Yeah.
I want to see this
He has
chair.
a career in acting.
Why
and
are
in
they
business?
I'm late on this, so who's Cooper DeJohn?
He's the USA Player of the Year or something like that. Mississippi wins 26-20.
Big money. Wait, is it 4?
4 o'clock.
Oh, is it too late?
No, they haven't kicked yet.
Oh man.
Hold on, let me check final numbers to tell you how
Hurry
to
up.
proceed. Oregon, but it's slim now. It's only +5. Because CJ Verdell is not playing.
Don't care.
Okay. What is Sierra talking about here? Okay, Sierra Wright.
Did they show his Space Jam?
No, they didn't really talk about that much. All right, he has Jackson State, Michigan. Now the things are blocking, I can't see. Notre Dame, Oregon, and USC.
You got a tweet ready? What's going on? There's a lot of dead air.
Yeah, it's a lot of dead air here. He's talking and thanking, and
I love that chair. I love that chair. Everybody masked up appropriately.
Sierra goes to USC.
All right. I'm coming back.
Very nice addition to this defensive back room that's going to be very, very athletic and very good. And maybe a little bit unlike a couple years ago when you made Elijah Griffin a 5-star and I made Isaac Taylor Stewart a 5, and they've been okay, but not great.
Guess who's been better?
Yeah, they should have been better.
But you guess who's been better out of them too?
But well, in talking and getting penalties, Elijah Griffin has been the better of the two.
Yeah. Well, he's got better draft stock. But here's the thing with Taylor Stewart. He was just a freak tester. So we're like, this kid's going to go off and run a 4.3 something.
Yeah.
And he still will.
Awesome and huge.
Right? But he can't cover.
No, he can't cover. That's the problem.
He'll still be drafted high after he drops like a 4.31.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll still be one of those kind of John Ross types that probably didn't deserve it and probably won't be a first rounder, but he'll be 4th, maybe 3rd, 4th.
And Elijah Griffith was so all over the map with his recruitment. I loved him.
Crazy toward the end.
Loved him.
Tennessee was in the end there involved, and just crazy what he was doing.
Yeah. And I like
whatever.
Sierra Wright. Sierra Wright seems like a very nice kid. Let me see if he follows me though.
Yeah, Sierra Wright, definitely a very nice kid. This class is good though. Prophet Brown is a kid that I like a whole lot, who could play running back. Sierra Wright had played wide receiver for a little bit at our camp and looked really good. He's a bouncy athlete kind of kid. Zamarian Gordon. Kalen Bullock is a kid who's long and rangy that'll fill out. Anthony Beavers hasn't really done much over the last year, but also has been good at times. So I like the group of defensive backs they're bringing in.
What's his handle?
It is
on the Twitter.
At Sierra R.
There he is. Oh, he doesn't follow me.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Well, I don't follow him. I just did. He better follow back.
You just started following him. He just committed. He's going to sign in like a minute.
Yeah, but I'd like to have long-standing relationships with these individuals.
You need to follow early. What I do is I follow the second they get an offer, and I don't unfollow until February. But I'm following way too many people.
Yeah, that's all right though. I still waiting on Sark to follow me back. He used to follow me, but see, this is the thing when you write what I have to write.
Yeah. They don't want to hear it.
They get upset unless you're Clay Helton and the nicest human being on earth.
You're right. Yeah.
When you're
he is.
Sark and I got to talk about you being drunk at practice and stuff like that, you're not gonna follow me. You're gonna hate me.
No. Yeah. He hates you.
But as a person recovering from potential substance issues as well throughout my life, I think we should be following each other.
I think you could be advocates for each other. I agree.
I'm here. I mean, what is it? What's it called? Sponsor?
Yeah, sponsors.
I could be a sponsor. If he gets the Texas job, I'll be a sponsor.
I like come from behind stories and second chances. I am someone who definitely, unlike many people in the media especially, don't want people's lives to be ruined because of mistakes they've made. And I think Sark at Texas is the best thing that could happen to that guy.
Yeah, well, this is the funny thing about it too, is that there were some rumors comparing Tom Herman to Sark.
Yes, I've heard those rumors as well.
And I don't know what they're true or not, but I mean, those rumors made it out there. So it is an interesting choice because of that connection. But we'll see if he even gets the job, or is it not official, right?
It's not official, but I believe that there have been reports that a press release could be released sometime today or over the weekend.
All right.
So I would certainly imagine that it's going to happen at some time.
How do we
It's
get
just
more
crazy because, I mean, what was the strategy at Texas? Try to hire maybe the greatest coach in college football, one of the greatest coaches in college football history, definitely one of the best recruiters in college football history. And if you can't hire him from having health problems, then we're going to hire Steve Sarkisian? I mean, was that the idea, or was it, oh no, we still have to get rid of Herman, now we have to find someone that will take the job?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jaheim Singletary did commit to Ohio State 16 minutes ago.
All right. Well,
Another
see
big loss for the Gators there.
Yeah, that is big. And a 2022 kid.
I mean, it's not over. You know, if they do get to take visits and such, the 2022 class, you know, you can't count out LSU or some other schools that he wanted to see, but you know, Florida would have been the logical choice, you would have thought.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe he's been to Ohio State. I think this is a sight unseen.
Could this be a Sean Wade influencer plus Ryan Day recruits his butt off and Dan Mullen kind of doesn't do that as much?
Yeah, and also Tyreek Johnson, right?
And yeah, but who hasn't exactly.
No, but he came from the same area, and
Right.
you know,
right.
like Jacksonville has a little bit of a pipeline there.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mullen doesn't love recruiting. I mean, I know an ex-staffer of his who told me he just didn't love it. And that's just the way it is. Some people don't. Brian Kelly doesn't love it either, but he'd still be good at it. But I think Mullen, with the excuses and all that stuff, it's not going to play well for him.
No.
He's just such a quirky guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when he's coaching a football game, he's not quirky at all. He doesn't do crazy stuff on the field all the time. And he's done so well with quarterbacks. I mean, Kyle Trask, let's be honest, his arm talent's not all that great. He can hardly move. And he made him put up huge numbers in an offense that had some, three playmakers, let's say, but wasn't completely filled and stocked with playmakers, and everybody knew they couldn't run. So as a coach, he's phenomenal, but showing up in the Darth Vader suit, I mean, come on, you're coaching Florida now. Recruiting, losing a 2022 5-star kid from literally an hour up the road.
Well, did you see that there was a thing about, there's a video that came out about him previously saying that, you play with the guys you have,
Yeah.
you don't make excuses. And then of course he made excuses. And then there's another one about, he's talking to a reporter about you're not allowed to put up Christmas lights before Thanksgiving unless they're white, like just a weird guy. And then he goes into the crowd, which shows, he could be fun. You see that the gif of him with
Yeah.
Felipe Franks. He looks like a cool guy, but then you see him speak and you're like, there's something not likable here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a likability thing or like a connection thing. Like, you hear the same thing about Jim Harbaugh a little bit. Like recruits go to meet with him and they're like, what's going on here? What is this? And some people just don't connect with people in the same way. And so I think that might be it. I think there have also been rumors, and I covered Florida when he was the offensive coordinator there. There were also rumors that he thought he was the smartest guy in any room he's ever been in. So, and Urban Meyer was in the same room. So that's a pretty big room.
Corey Foreman's up, right?
No, Jordan Gilbert is next up.
Oh, they were previewing.
Yeah.
Where you got Gilbert going?
Also, please, Mike, if you want me to stop speaking, don't stick your in my face. Gilbert's a tough one because I think legitimately he had been torn up until the final couple minutes here.
I got Oklahoma.
A&M?
I got Oklahoma.
Okay, let's see.
Am I wrong?
I don't know if you're right or wrong. I think this is a tough one to call. Oh, Deontay Anderson was a late ad for this, and he is now going. I believe he is now going.
Yeah, he's Mississippi State, right?
Yeah, Mississippi State and I think UCF were kind of the final contenders here. This is a kid who's pretty talented. Never talked to me, though. I tried on numerous occasions without being creepy to get him on the phone or to message me, and he just didn't seem to want to be involved in this. So Mississippi State has done well on the defensive line, that's for sure. And I think he could be a really talented kid that we're maybe overlooking a little bit just because he's not in our faces every second.
I'm switching to the Aggies for Gilbert.
All right.
Just did it.
Deontay Anderson is up. Very nice presentation here. There are jerseys in the locker, balloons. His grandfather is wearing an Unleash the Beast shirt, which looks pretty cool.
I need one of those.
Also, he has one of those big beards that go under his mask. So that's also a neat look in today's world.
Oh, man. My butt just fell asleep.
Mississippi State for Deontay Anderson.
I don't think I have a Mississippi State mini helmet.
Yeah, Mississippi State. That's a good pickup for them, I think.
So I have a USC helmet, but it's in the other room.
Would we like to talk about the ridiculousness of the Mississippi State game earlier this week?
We can. I mean, whatever. It was stupid. Malik Heath pranced away from somebody after he stepped on their back. I mean, and then he bragged about it. I mean,
the coach is in the stands.
If you're going to be tough, be tough. Don't act like you're tough and then the replay shows you running away like Forrest Gump, just.
Yeah.
And then Mike Leach would go, don't do it again.
Right.
Whatever. I was outraged on Twitter as I'm supposed to be.
You were Twitter outraged, right?
I was.
Yeah.
And I did say Karen has spoken because I have to be Twitter outraged.
Right.
But truly, I mean, I don't think anybody cares about either program enough. I mean, there's a 3-win Mississippi State team and a horrible Tulsa team, and nobody cares. That's my take.
But the Liberty Bowl people put on a nice show, put on the game. It wasn't
the Liberty Bowl, it was the Armed Forces Bowl.
The Armed Forces Bowl, which
disrespectful.
Yeah, it almost makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the disrespect.
No, the disrespect. These people are putting on a bowl for you. If you don't want to come play, don't play. It's the end of the game. It's essentially meaningless in many ways. have a clue about what you're doing. You know,
So
I mean, you just look like a moron.
Can you Google this kid's father for me?
Deontay Anderson.
Yeah. Just Google Deontay Anderson father.
Okay, Deontay Anderson father. I don't want to say what comes up. Nothing comes up much for me.
He played someplace. That is a mean looking man.
Oh no, that's his grandfather, I believe.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that is his
He
grandfather.
looks younger than me by far.
Yeah, yeah.
I look horrible. It's rough.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I like this Mississippi State class a little bit though. Getting Harmon is big. That's an in-state kid.
Yeah, but they got crushed down the stretch.
Down the stretch, they did.
They took
They
it on the
did get
chin.
crushed.
They did.
They got-
I know you're Mr. Positive, but
Go kids coming in that are probably underranked.
where's the Mississippi State class ranked?
Where are they
30th.
nationally?
30th. It's not bad.
Probably about right. Yeah.
Yeah. But they lost a few down the stretch for sure that they wanted. And Kiffin won that state.
State. Yeah. Year one, Kiffin won the state. Definitely. No doubt about it.
Kiffin's class is 18. That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's impressive.
And he
You wonder if
just
the
made
Kiffin Auburn rumors were real or if that was just Kiffin's agent going out and trying to get him a better deal.
he's not going to go. First of all, he already did that. He can't do it again. You can't.
Yeah.
You can only commit career suicide once. You can't take the Ole Miss job and then leave after a year after you already did it at Tennessee. So they got him his extension. He's making buco bucks. His agent floated it out there. They'll float something out there next year. I'm happy that he's there because he's fun to follow and it's a fun program now to watch. And he's recruiting well too. So plus he just maybe look smart because I picked Ole Miss. What do we got? 40 minutes left of this?
40 minutes, Mike.
We're up to 48 people watching.
That's good. How many total views does it say?
I don't know how to do that.
I don't either.
There's a little
So
subscribe
next
now
up-
button. I'm subscribed.
Let me see. Let me get back to my man Gus's list. Anderson, Elijah Judy. There are only 3 left. Elijah Judy, and then Jordan Gilbert, and then Corey Foreman.
Judy's A&M.
So can A&M have a big close here? Gilbert and Judy.
Yeah, 250 kids. That's that. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't even think Sam knows where Gilbert's going, and he's been plugged into his recruiting for a while.
So like we've said, though, and which continues to be the thorn in Jimbo's side, is you're going to honestly tell me that Texas A&M wouldn't have put up a better game against Alabama yesterday?
I'm just reading something. Hold on, sorry. So Matt Miller is leaving Bleacher.
Matt Miller, the NFL draft guy, huh?
After this week, take a small break from writing until I can announce my next home. What I will be doing is creating content on social outlets.
Okay.
How do you make money
I
doing
don't
that?
understand what that means.
And he's the one who moved Wilson up ahead of Fields after one game.
Okay.
How's your
Back
following going? What are you up to? How many people you got
For what?
for Twitter?
How many people am I following?
No, how many follow you?
Oh, 55,500.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it should be higher. I need to be more opinionated, I think.
Well, you also retweet everything.
And that's bad for the follower.
It is. I mean, you retweet every offer. You know, so
Yeah.
if you get the Utah State offer, you'll retweet it. So your feed itself could be slightly annoying to somebody.
Yeah, my problem is that, I'm constantly on Twitter, whether on the computer or phone, and I'm not constantly always just around the database to update offers. So what I'll do is I'll retweet everything and then go back and then update the offer later in the
Right.
day.
And you retweet like from all over the country.
Yes.
You follow
Yeah,
like every freaking kid.
Yeah, I try to follow every kid nationally from the 21, 2, 3, and 4 classes, all 4 classes. It's quite
Dude.
the
Iowa State's up 7-0 already.
that's okay. Oh, here's Elijah Judy. He has Texas A&M hat and a Georgia hat, of which he's already been committed to Georgia. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine this would be Texas A&M. And it is Texas A&M. Texas A&M is the pick for Elijah Judy.
All right.
Texas A&M is recruiting in Pennsylvania pretty well.
Your old stomping ground. Eastern PA.
Soon to be my new stomping grounds, Mike. What do you think of that? Should that happen?
You're not moving back. Your wife will never let you.
No, you want me to tell you a funny story?
Sure.
It's a little bit of California snobbery here, so I don't know if I should do
Go ahead.
it or not.
I'm in Connecticut. I got snobbery.
Yeah. We go to Florida. To take a look to see if we like it. I lived there. I liked living in Florida.
You in Florida would help me a lot. Continue.
Yeah. So that also something that I was thinking about. I could be Florida.
You always want to help me. Right.
I'm all about helping you, Mike. It's right. The whole thing. Closer to my parents who live in Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Go to Orlando. Have a good time. We drive to Cocoa Beach. We're like, we could drive to Newport Beach, Manhattan Beach. It's just not as nice, Mike.
What?
It's just
but the people.
Nice.
The people. I've been to Manhattan Beach. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But the people.
They're friendly. They're nice.
They don't do anything. They serve.
That is the problem.
I mean,
the problem we had in Florida too was, it's slow. People take their time in the supermarket, and as much as people in California seem to not care about anything, there's a little bit of a more brisk pace that I'm used to.
Well, go to don't go there. Go to freaking St. Petersburg. Tampa.
St. Petersburg.
Tampa.
Well, that would also make sense work-wise, especially with the IMG Academy right
nice
down
area too, and it's not as slow. It's a little zippy.
Okay.
You got a lot of your olds in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
And then you got your beach dwelling olds. And then you got your St. Pete olds, which are a little faster than your middle of the state olds. So, but you don't want to come back here. I mean, it's miserable up in the Northeast.
Yeah, that's what everybody sort of says is all my friends in Pennsylvania, and I'm like, oh man, I like being in Pennsylvania, this and that. And they're like, I can't wait to move to Florida.
The vitamin D is so important to your life.
Yeah, I think it is too.
There's none from December to March here.
Yeah.
I'm in a miserable depression.
Yeah.
Every year. Your kids will be depressed. Your kids need sun. You got another one coming.
I will tell you, it is pretty nice to be able to, when you live out here, you don't even really look at a weather forecast. And if it rains, even if it's cloudy, you're like, what's going on? What's going on here? What's happening? It's just always 72 and sunny, always.
No, but you don't have any hobbies. You have no outdoor hobbies.
That's the problem. I have no outdoor hobbies. I
Like
don't
you're
really have
living in
any
the
indoor
perfect
hobbies.
weather to be a golfer.
Yeah, and I live on a golf course, and it would make a whole lot of sense. But here's my thing. If I'm not really good at it, do I want to just go out there and struggle and be frustrated all day?
You won't be frustrated. You don't have a bad temper, and it will get you outside, and you'll get exercise, and you'll enjoy it. And it's funny because if you have a sense of humor, golf can be hilarious because some of the things that you do, oh my God, like just absolutely ridiculous, like
Yeah.
so stupid. And then you golf with someone who thinks they're okay and you watch them suck and you make fun of them. That's fun.
I used to play tennis with Eddie Ashoff in Florida when I lived there, but now I don't have anybody to play tennis with out here. There's no one that's like my wife wants to play, but you know, you just don't really get much of a match there.
Yeah, it's fun. Gorney's a
So
pro. This is Michael Chang of his era.
I like to think of myself as more Andre Agassi than Michael Chang.
I picture you more of the backboard type, like never approaching the net and just sort of constantly just getting it back over and frustrating people.
Yeah, I sit on the baseline and just frustrate people if they try to hit winners by me.
That's what Chang does or did.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's up next?
We are down to 2, Jordan Gilbert and Corey Foreman.
All right,
Mike, have you got the NBC streaming app Peacock yet?
No.
So we're watching Netflix. Did you watch Cobra Kai, the new season?
No, it just came out yesterday. What, you watched the whole thing?
No, we haven't started it yet. We're starting it tonight.
All right, good. I've started The Undoing. I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm through 2 episodes. I like it.
Did you do Queen's Gambit yet?
Not yet.
Oh God. Okay. The Cobra Kai comes out, but I'm scrolling because I like to watch The West Wing and I like to watch The Office, and they're both on Netflix. And now they're both off of Netflix.
Yes, as of December 31st.
So
It's a big
the
deal.
question now becomes: The West Wing is on HBO Max, but do I love The Office enough to subscribe to Peacock to get it?
Don't you get Comedy Central?
Yeah, can you get it through their app?
Well, it's on Comedy Central constantly. The
I
Office.
know, but I'm not one for commercials or trying to time it up.
Oh. Well,
So,
I don't know what to tell you. You got to live with the commercials. But yeah, people are freaking out that it's not on Netflix anymore. They're all, we're going to cancel Netflix. No, you're not.
no, you're not. No, you're not.
But if I were, NBC and I owned the rights to The Office or whatever, I would completely hog it to myself. People will pay buco bucks just to watch The Office because they're so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The Office was great. And we watched it all the time, just, zoning out at night and you want to watch something funny. So we watched that, and West Wing is one of the best shows ever. But there's nothing really else on Netflix that we watch all that much. Cobra Kai. I watch Billions, but that's on HBO or Showtime.
It looks good.
Billions, the first season's horrible, but then it gets really much better.
So we got 44 people watching on YouTube.
Okay.
And we got
Any questions?
47 people. No, people stopped interacting with us. Oh. Do you two overgrown kids talk football? That's from Mo Funky Dan U. No, we're vamping.
I mean, was it really a surprise that Elijah Judy went to Texas A&M? Although
Oh, and we talked about Ohio State. I mean, you want to break it down further?
Ohio State or A&M?
I mean, no, I'm talking about we talked about college football. We talked about Notre Dame. We talked about Alabama game. We talked about, Mo Funky's just late.
Yeah, he just missed. He missed.
So he's hopping into our boring conversation about crap. So 40 people are on our All-American Declaration Day podcast. We got 2,100 views. So you wasted 2 hours of my life for this.
1,000 views an hour. You can get 24,000 views a day. Let's do this all day.
I'm going to reach out to somebody, and I'm just going to strike my own deal for the podcast because I sent off an email about it and nobody did anything. So just be prepared, Gorney. We're going places.
All right, good. Yeah, I think
And
that
Did you retweet my Mind of Mike on Tom Herman's failures?
I had not been on Twitter for a while, but I will. Did you tag me?
I didn't.
I'll retweet it.
Yeah, please. Trying to get that up there.
I think closing, we could have a little bit of a discussion about Texas A&M moving even higher in the rankings. Ruben Fothery is a kid who I think might get 5-star discussion. Shamar Turner, beast.
So
I'm looking at
for the 44 people that are watching,
yes.
I'm going to give you a little preview of the kids that I think are going to be discussed for 5 stars.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my list up too. And by list, I mean the Rivals 250. Okay, go.
Well, the first one's Jatavian Sanders. And
Definitely.
Yeah, we got him listed 210. He's got to be 280.
And who's been at the forefront of that one for months, Michael?
I don't know.
Me.
Yeah. Well, can I change him from weak side, please? Can we
Yeah,
make
he's
him
got to
more
be at
than
least
265,
270.
Dude, his butt is 210 now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
huge, and he's
Huge.
athletic as freaky can be.
Yep.
The other kid from Texas that I've fallen in love with, watching more and more, is Clayton Smith. He's a freak athlete going to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I got to see more of him.
Oh, just what? 6'4", 220, plays tight end, linebacker. He's just awesome.
I think Shamar Turner's a beast.
Who?
Shamar Turner. He's the
Oh,
kid.
yeah. Yeah, well, and so he's the highest ranked non-5.
Yeah.
You got Sapp will stay where, I mean, he's not, I don't think he's 5. McCord, I don't see 5. Fadone, I don't see 5. Terrence Lewis will be discussed. Clayton Smith will be discussed. We don't have anything late, I don't think, under Corey Brooks. Quay Davis would be a 5-star if he had any sort of sense. Academic.
Yeah. He's 5-star talent, sure.
Man, he's so good, but that's a problem.
I think the kids we're going to regret not doing are Shamar Turner, Damon Payne, Damon Payne,
maybe
Leonard Taylor,
maybe.
and I have a sneaking suspicion that LJ Johnson will end up better than Kamar Wheaton.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree with you there. It's just I do like Kamar Wheaton's speed. Like he's a track kid more so than LJ. He's a burner, and LJ is more of a grinder.
Yeah.
And going to Alabama is probably a solid choice if you want to be a good running back. So, but again, we don't take that into play because Alabama 4 years ago ran the ball a whole lot more than they do now, and you can't go based on that stuff.
And I also think JoJo Earl might be
He's too small.
That's what they said. That was our concern about Waddle at Army, that he was too small.
Yeah, but he's 5'11". Like this kid's 5'8". I mean, it would be great to have these all-star games so we could actually see this stuff. Maybe he's 5'11" now. I don't know. But Fothery, I believe as well as like that 6'8" skinny kid that could fill out and be great.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M does an amazing job producing offensive linemen, just consistently amazing.
Well, they're winning on the offensive and defensive line, man. Other than Alabama, I mean, they are doing a tremendous.
Well, look at DeMarvin Leal. He's a freak.
Yeah, he is.
Watch him tonight, man. Just like focus on him for like one series.
Yeah.
And watch what he does. He just takes up so many people.
Yeah.
And he's 2022. He could be top 5 pick. He's just that freaky. So.
All right, Jordan Gilbert is up. He has Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, I believe Southern, and Texas A&M.
All right. If he picks Oklahoma and I just switched it, I'm going to be pretty upset.
I think he's going to go A&M. I think, but Oklahoma's right there. It's A&M.
Phew! I got it right.
A&M, baby. Another one.
Jimbo can recruit, man. I'm telling you, top 5 recruiters in college football as head coaches.
Yeah.
Jimbo is always in that discussion, on that list, always.
And, you know, we talk all the time. I'm critical of coaches more than probably you, as you suck up to all of them. But
Please.
yeah.
I
But he's
They all
doing a
hate.
phenomenal job there. Phenomenal. Recruiting, coaching, developing, everything that you want. I think he's starting. It took him a while to kind of get his groove there, but now I think he's in it. And all these Texas, I mean, really, if you're a kid in Texas and you have Jimbo Fisher and Steve Sarkisian to go play for, I think Jimbo Fisher is going to win a lot of those recruiting battles.
Jimbo's not on Twitter, right?
I don't believe he is.
Just like Dabo and Saban.
Yeah. So
I think that's the move.
don't be on Twitter. That makes you even more popular.
Yeah, I think Day should get off Twitter.
Yeah. So I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I think Jimbo's going to be great. The problem is this. The precedent was set this year. If you make your conference championship, regardless of what that conference is, and you have one loss, you will be taken over someone that comes from a vastly superior division, which we saw last night. Again, Clemson exposed. And I don't know any other word for it except screwed. He's screwed. There's nothing he can do to get into this playoff now except beat Alabama.
Right. Well, Orgeron did it.
1 year. Yeah, 1 year.
So do it.
With the number 1 pick in the draft and a phenomenal receiving core.
Then build that.
The question is, are we taking the best 4 teams or are we taking teams that make it to the conference championship and we know are not one of the best 4 teams?
Clemson didn't get exposed. Come on.
Ohio State didn't expose them last night. They blew them out.
They kicked their butt, but they didn't get exposed. It's not like that's a crap team that shouldn't have been in there. I mean, if you want to talk exposed, look at the track record of Notre Dame, not Clemson.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Notre Dame definitely should not have been in. We now know that.
Let's pick on them then, shall we?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
all I'm saying is
Clemson's won 2 national championships. Notre Dame's won nothing since 1987 or something.
No, my point was that if you're going to take 2 teams from the SEC, 2 teams from the ACC, and 1 from the SEC, when we all know Alabama and Texas A&M are 2 of the best teams in the country, I don't know what we're playing here. Are we just playing get to the conference championship? Because then Texas A&M should leave the SEC and join the Big 12 again or the Pac-12 and just make it every year or go independent.
Well, it's not that easy to do, but you got to break through. I mean, listen, Auburn's done it too. Right? So A&M, you've got 2 programs in your own division that have broken through and beaten Alabama and gotten to the playoff. So do it yourself. I don't want to hear any whining that Alabama's too good or we're blah, blah. No, just do it. Shut up and do it.
Best 4 teams in college football.
No. Should be 8. You take 5, take 1 group of 5, and then you take the 2 wild cards.
All right. I'm fine with that too.
And then maybe A&M gets in this year.
Maybe.
Which they would have. Yeah, I mean, they would have. But I'm just saying that would help. But don't take the 4 and have 2 of them from the same division after 1 beat them by 30.
I'm just deflated after watching Notre Dame's performances the last 2 weeks. They had no business on the same field as Clemson. They had no business on the same field as Alabama. It was just bad.
Let's put this in their defense, okay? They have to take kids that can spell Notre Dame.
I know, but
it's not an even playing field at all. Notre Dame has to have academic restrictions that Alabama and Clemson have never heard of.
So they should be benefited because they're not as good of a football team. If we were at the math bowl or if we were at the, the calculus bowl or whatever, the spelling bowl, fine.
Just dumb it down. Right? Everybody on an equal page. Dumb it down like they did for Holtz. Dumb it down.
No.
Notre Dame needs to dumb it down. Let Brian Kelly bring in top 5 classes instead of top 10 classes. Then see if you got the speed to hang with some of these teams. But you're not going to get your 4.0 Johnnies and Joes out there for your 85-man roster and compete with Alabama and Clemson. It's just not fair.
I respect what Notre Dame did this season. I think they had a phenomenal year. And then they should have been playing North Carolina tonight in the Fiesta Bowl.
I think I think the Fonger is like lighting it up today, man.
The what is?
The Fong. You don't know who the Fong is?
The Fong.
Yeah, Will
He's
Fong.
lighting it up.
Like I think he's hit every one
Oh,
on his prediction,
oh, good for him. That's
keeping
nice.
that 99% up.
Hey, when you're at the top of your game, you're at the top of your game.
Their committed graphics are pretty cool.
I think we should get pretty good graphics.
They're kind of cartoony. Have you
Yeah,
seen
that's
them?
cool. Yeah.
I like cartoony. Not that ours are bad. I'm just saying theirs are kind of like cool.
All right. We are down to Corey Foreman here, Mike. 5 minutes ago. Welcome to Texas, Coach Sark.
Yeah, saw that.
Okay, Steve Sarkisian. So will he call the plays in the national championship? Is that the move here?
Yeah, I think. Well, remember he replaced Kiffin when Kiffin took but that was 2 weeks prep, wasn't it? This is like he's got to.
9 days. Yeah, 9 days.
I think he's got to. You know, and again, you're not in a live recruiting period, so there's no excuse for it. Whereas before, you were in a live recruiting.
Yeah, there'll only be a handful of kids that go in February now, right?
But I could call the plays for Alabama.
Yes. They were doing a lot of stuff with motioning guys into the backfield yesterday. You see all that stuff? That was great. How
Najee's
I'm
awesome. Najee's awesome.
Najee is awesome.
Awesome. You know what? And you know what? Tribute to him for not being a portal kid.
Yeah.
Not jumping back to, go back home and play, USC or go to Cal or, be tempted to go to Oregon or whatever. Stuck with it. And now he's all-time leading rusher at Alabama. He's clearly the first running back that's going to be taken off the board. And off the field, there's no issues whatsoever. Far from home, navigated this process. I mean, really, you can't say enough about his perseverance.
We're going to do this in the new year. We're doing a what if series, Mike. I've decided we're ramping up coverage across Rivals platforms.
I love the what if. It's just, it takes a lot. Like, what if Derrick Henry committed to Georgia is great. It takes a lot of research, bro.
I know. I'm doubling down my efforts. I'm excited.
How can I get a byline by adding a sentence to that?
Well, you can do some of the research.
Oh, I have to work. I'm working on my Instagram, man. You see how many followers I got now?
Najee Harris, remember the story?
Michigan
was literally had plane tickets to 2 schools. John Schmid, we should bring him on the podcast to go over
Schmid's miserable.
the stress of what's going on in San Antonio.
I'll get to that in a second, but yeah, go ahead.
If Najee Harris goes to Michigan, is Najee Harris Najee Harris?
No.
Was he so good? Was he so good?
Nope.
No.
And I'm going to tell you what, if Deshaun Hand goes to Michigan, he's better than he was at Alabama. There's certain
I agree.
fits.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
There's certain fits, there's certain things, but no, Najee needs to be in that offense where they're going to utilize him properly, and Jim Harbaugh would not do that. He wouldn't catch one pass there. It'd be fullback. He wouldn't be used in space. He would not have been Najee Harris. So he made the right choice. Going to Michigan would have been a disaster for him. Not ruined his career or anything, but look at Cam Akers. Cam Akers was in that class, discussed as the number 1 player in the country. Went to Florida State, worst offensive line you're ever going to see. Yeah. Ended up being a 2nd rounder. Had Cam Akers gone to Alabama,
he had been committed there, right?
Yeah. He probably would have been Najee, or had he gone to Ole Miss, as he thought about, I guarantee you Ole Miss would have used him better than Florida State. Florida State just almost killed his career.
Corey Foreman is up.
This is what we've been waiting for, man. This is years of hard work. Intel. I mean, we got tattoos. We got a lot on line here. And I don't think there's any drama in this whatsoever. I think he's off USC.
Yeah, I think the drama has passed on this one, but we will see. He is a kid that could pull a surprise.
Do you know these people that they're talking?
That's his dad.
Yeah, you know him?
His other brother, and I believe his sister.
Corey doesn't follow me either.
Corey is a person who will only talk while in person with you. That's
Corey's he's an Instagram guy. He's building his Instagram empire. That's his name, image, likeness. He doesn't believe in Twitter.
Corey Foreman is a very, very, very talented kid. Very nice off the field. I just worry. Let's go down the list of USC 5-stars who weren't.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. You can't gauge Justin Fields based on Dwayne Haskins. So let's not even play that game.
Also true.
And let's, if he goes to USC, let's wish him the best.
Absolutely. I wish nothing but the best for Corey Foreman. It's been nothing but great to us for years.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice kid. Like a Chase Young, but like talkative.
Yeah,
Chase was very quiet, but not a bad kid, but very quiet, didn't want to talk to anybody. Corey's very outgoing and egregious, and he's reading a little speech, apparently.
I don't think egregious, Mike. That's like bad.
No, egregious is bad. Gregarious.
Yeah.
Gregarious. Egregious.
Didi Gregorius is a baseball player.
So Arizona State's on the right. Clemson. We got Georgia, LSU have no chance, right?
I believe Georgia and LSU have zero chance.
So we got to watch for the quick twitch, left or right. We're looking at the left arm.
Yeah.
But if he goes right, we got ourselves a surprise.
If he goes right, we got a problem.
And I got to pee again.
I have to rewrite something.
So we got to get rid of this speech because I got to pee.
Wait, we have to do our half-hour wrap-up.
I know. But I'll pee first, and we'll do a wrap-up. I drink a lot of water. What?
We're not doing a wrap-up, are we?
This is your stupid idea, no?
Yeah, this is a one and done, I think.
And people are saying, you idiots talk about anything football related? I mean.
All right, here we go. Corey Foreman. He's got both hands on it. He's looking at the Georgia hat, and he picks USC.
Boom.
Huge.
Boom. So, Sierra Wright, Corey Foreman, Rajon Davis will follow.
I believe so, yes.
Clay Helton with a very good recruiting class after last year's. And I talked to Clay Helton about that class last year, and he said it was mostly linemen, and it was a very small class, so it was going to be rated poorly, but it still stunk. I mean, some of the linemen they took were just ridiculous.
Yeah, that was.
But he's recovered,
He has recovered in a big way.
Hiring Dante away from Oregon was a huge deal. Clay Helton's the nicest human being on earth. I'm rooting for him. And I'm rooting for Corey Foreman. And listen, good USC football is good for college football, period.
Definitely.
We need somebody in the Pac-12, whether it's Oregon or USC, to just break through and make a run. And I think we've got two teams that are recruiting to that level, which is great.
And this is big because for a few years, the top kids in California were leaving. Justin Flo's gone. DJ's gone. Bryce Young is gone. Down the list. So to keep the number one player in the state, who had been the number one player in the country by really no fault of his own, dropped off that top line because he doesn't have a senior season and might not even have one in the spring. This is big for them to keep him. He and Drake Jackson will be outstanding on the defensive line next year.
Yeah, and an instant impact guy too. Obviously he's going to play right away. Similar to Miles Murphy, what we saw from Miles Murphy for Clemson, and to a lesser extent Brian Brzee, who had an impact as an interior guy, just didn't get the numbers that Miles Murphy did. But you keep building on the defensive line like that, you're going to cause some problems for the rest of the Pac-12. And I don't know. I think a strong Oregon in the north, a strong USC in the south, and you got yourself a team that, one of those teams could possibly break through, get to the playoff. Now, preseason, where do you have USC? I've got them top 10 next season, but I still don't see them as a playoff team.
Here's the tricky part, though. You have Amon-Ra now gone.
Yeah.
Tyler Vaughns is gone. So you're losing a lot of that firepower at receiver, but their defense, Hufanga is gone. You're losing a lot of firepower across the board there, but you're bringing in really young, very talented kids. So I don't know. They're always overrated.
The running
in the
game worries
preseason.
me. I mean, Stephen Carr, I know he had injuries and stuff, but he was awful. I worry that USC doesn't have the balance if they lose those wide receivers.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Step never panned out, and I just don't know. Even Moore didn't do that much there. They haven't had a great running back in a long time, and I think that's key to their success. And I think it's one of the reasons why they haven't been successful. And I don't think there's a guy that I see is the next great USC running back.
No. You know, we'll see how that offensive line develops too, because that has been an issue for years. I remember Sam Darnold. I mean, even before him, Sam Darnold was getting slaughtered out there. I think the quarterback position will be fine. We'll see if Brandon Campbell is kind of a tough runner from Texas. We'll see how he develops. I believe Malapay is coming back, so that will give them some depth there.
Well, he's a senior, but he can come back because of the NCAA rule.
Yeah, because he'll have a year. So we'll see. I mean, I think Oklahoma might be the number one preseason team. I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Well, Carr can come back too, but he's done nothing.
Everybody could come back. Every single player could come back.
Well, that's true. But really, I mean, that's the biggest thing other than the defense, I think, has been the problem. You've got yourself some tremendous wide receivers, and Slovis is a very good quarterback, except for when he looks horrible. But yeah, just running game needs to get right here. But this will certainly help the defense. And the winners of the day, USC and Texas A&M, right?
Yeah,
and Clemson.
absolutely.
Clemson for sure was a winner too today. So who's the biggest loser? Oklahoma was the loser.
Yeah, Oklahoma was the loser. Okay, here's the tail of the tape, Mike. Chase Young is 6'5", 251. Corey Foreman is 6'4", 265.
Yeah. And similar playing styles.
Yeah.
Physical, not just based on speed, but based off, working off of contact, able to work inside. Chase Young is a little bit more aggressive and angry.
Yeah.
But I would say Foreman's more developed as a pass rusher at the same stage.
Yeah.
The problem is Chase Young went to play for Larry Johnson.
Right. That's the question.
And, we'll see how he's developed at USC.
So the winners of the day, yes, are Texas A&M and USC. Clemson by not flipping, but getting Tristan Lee late. Ohio State by getting Jaheim Singletary locked up. The loser of the day, Oklahoma, for missing out on Gilbert, missing out on Lee.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that wraps it up, right?
I think so. Let's go have lunch.
Lunch. It's 4:55 here. It's pitch dark. I'm ready for my second nap. It's 7-7 Oregon and Iowa State. I'm going to go watch that.
All right, me too.
And then we got A&M tonight and UNC, which is going to be a shootout, I believe. So great idea, Gorney. Let's get the final numbers in here before we leave. Ready?
Okay. Internal use only, Mike.
Not pretty. How about that?
Not pretty. With the promotion on this was quite something.
And I do like, and someone's asking is A&M the leader for Cam Dewberry? And I don't know if that's the case. He just came out of the top 10. There's a lot of moving parts here with Texas getting a new coach, so we'll have to see about Cam Dewberry, the 2022 kid. He would be a kid that wouldn't surprise me at all if he went to the SEC. But we got one thumbs down, and I know why.
What's that?
Because Mofunku Danu and M. Gibson hated us talking about everything but this show.
Oh, okay.
But we got 10 thumbs up, and we would get 11 if you knew how to do that.
That's good.
33 watching now. high of 48. Complete failure overall, I think. But I'll do it again. I don't care.
I think the idea is to promote this over a few days and get it on message boards across the network so people can tune in.
Promotion, huh?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Get it to our team of promoters out there, our social influencers, those kinds of people.
You mean not pop it up 5 minutes before?
I think that would have helped, yes.
right.
Let's stop this because we have another video to do, Mike, before we call it quits.
We do?
Yes, we do.
What?
Have you checked your text messages from our social media staff?
Ugh. First of all, I don't know how to get out of this. Broadcast webinar. So I'm just going to shut it down
Okay.
and that'll be that. And then I'll Zoom you.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be here.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye.